Well, a lot has been said, but I think it is just time to give God the glory for the life, the times of Honorable Maina Wanjigi. Believe it or not, I was actually in Parliament with him. I wasn't there when he became member for Kamukunji in 1969. But in one of those photos in the program, you might see Mheshimiwa Maina Wanjigi in the same picture with the late Moses Keino, who was the Speaker. I then was Deputy Speaker to Mheshimiwa Moses Keino. So I've seen, and Jimmy, one regret, and I think I'm allowed to blame you because you're my brother. All this time we spent together during the code struggle, the tear gassing, and I confirm what Jimmy Orengo just said. Jimmy actually gave me those tablets to be able to deal with the tear gas. And I thanked you for that. But I had hoped you and I would find time to go and just spend an afternoon with Mzee Maina Wanjigi. I really miss that, Jimmy. But you are my friend, and many times I've called out Jimmy. I said, this Jimmy. Remember, this Jimmy? Now Jimmy, as a second born of your dad, following Mama Wangechi. Mama Maria, that name is wonderful. That's my mother's name. And you paid proper tribute to your husband. He could have married an American, because he left you soon, 2 months after the marriage, but he came back to the village girl. And see what the village girl has managed to do, put together a wonderful family. So you must feel encouraged by all of us. Jimmy, you got hold of Nzisa. That's a name I love. Some of these Kamba names are sweet names. Nzisa. And she could not read that tribute because she remembered what you put her through. You know, when men had to come and get hold of her, and you stood with your wife. This is a wonderful family. Nzisa, continue holding on to this guy. He's a good man. Now, before we came here, my colleagues in Azimio, Eugene Wamalwa and Kioni, and Wandai and others, Mother was, I think, ahead of us, issued a statement, a very strong statement, and allow us to say this, because again, Bishop Ukulu, this church, men and women who have stood and fought for justice for our country. We, even more recently, when Maina, who is now somewhere with the Archbishop of Canterbury, I met him in London. When I saw Bishop Njenga, he was the provost actually when I got married here. And people have stood for justice for our country. Please allow us, church, to ask you to continue that tradition of All Saints Cathedral, as my sister Mother has implored you. We can't be wrong. We can't be wrong when we say this country is at a crossroads. Paul Mwita and his team fought hard for this country. We must get it right this time. So we'll be pretending, even as we escort Mzee Maina Wanjigi, that all is well in our country. It is not. And this is the time to implore God, to call on God and to say, this land must live on. The statement we issued was very strong. And just as we are coming in here, we even gave instructions to our team, of Azimio team in Parliament, that they will say no to this increment. Can you imagine? It's like kicking our young people on the teeth to increase the perks for members of Parliament, for everybody, when everybody is crying out for justice, for open government, for transparency, for integrity in life. I saw Mheshimiwa Maina Wanjigi stand up for Moroto people. Moroto is in Kamukunji. And people used to, even those days, joke about, you be Morotoed. Even as late as last month, the people of Kamukunji suffered demolitions. The people of Kamukunji are still crying out for justice. Jimmy, you and I and others have to take it up from there. May God bless our country, and may Mzee Maina Wanjigi rest in eternal peace. Amen.
Thank you very much. Big clap. I have only one thing left to say.